Did you know that there is a MIDI plugin by our friends at SwarVST that has over 100 authentic Indian instruments? It's called SwarPlug. We're going to check it out today. Let's take a look. Take a look at the Swar plugin, which is the SwarPlug. It's by our friends at SwarVST. It has some great Indian instruments that have great sounds, great samples, and this is the MIDI portion of how you can actually use this to incorporate it into your creativity and your workflow. So here I have a few tracks that are actually set up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cycle recording method. So I'm going to click up here and drag and pick out about 8 bars. And notice it activates the cycle function in Logic Pro. Over here, I already have this one channel that's selected. I'm going to go in and pick SwarPlug, and it's going to be in stereo. Notice you have mono, stereo, and of course 5.1 to choose from. For our purposes today, we're going to use stereo, and it opens up with the SwarPlug plugin. What you're going to see here is, of course, you have your list here and AU presets. We're not going to pick from here, although that's listed there. Select preset window, and of course there's a select program window, which is what we will be using. On the right here, you've got the library, key map, FX, which is where you can actually customize your FX from ladder to EQ, to convolution if it's available, and of course reverb if it's available, depending on what you pick. Scales, pitch, and modulators. For our purposes today, we're going to leave it at library. You also have your ADSR. Now, if you're wondering what that stands for, A is for attack, D is for decay, S is sustain, and R is release. And you can kind of customize how you want to use that depending on the patch that you're actually using. Notice that it automatically attaches to the host tempo. So I have it at 110 here, and it also shows up as 110 inside the plugin itself. So I'm going to click on the select program. Of course, it has favorites. So as you go through this, you can actually pick out the ones that you really like. And of course, it gives you a preview. So I'm going to take this down just a little bit. It gives you a preview of what that sounds like. So in this one, I've selected drums, and I have the bass Dolak. I actually go over here, or went over here, and notice this is highlighted under favorite. I selected this, so it is a favorite of mine that I want to use. If you don't want to have it, it's going to automatically be unselected, but if you want to keep it as a favorite, all you have to do is just click it, and it fills in, and you're good to go. So, since I'm going to use this as my instrument, I'm going to click on select. And notice it shows up there. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to put in or type in bass and spell that out, Dolak. Voila, there you have it, okay? So that's going to be what I use for that one. You can use a MIDI keyboard, or in some cases, I have seen people use like the machine MIDI controllers, but I'm going to be using a MIDI keyboard. So when I look at the key map here, notice it shows this orange area and it says main. That's going to be your corresponding area of where you'll have your sounds. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually go ahead and record about 8 bars using this. And then we're going to set up a couple of more instruments on different tracks because I like to kind of have individual control of the sounds. And then we're going to go ahead and see what that all sounds like. So this one, we're going to go ahead and put something in. So one of the things, if you notice, you could see with the levels here how it was kind of increasing and going down. It is touch sensitive, which I really like. So you can really play with the dynamics of what you have here. So here I've got my track for that put in. I'm going to close that there. I'm going to go to the next track and I'm going to select SwarPlug stereo. For this one, I'm going to look to use a different instrument because I want to put a different layer on top. So let's go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at maybe putting in, let's see here. Let's try, here we go. So let's take a listen and see what that sounds like. This will give you a preview. Okay, let me go back. I kind of like that. So as that with that preview, and I'm also going to select it as a favorite. Notice down here I have a show all button. Okay, it shows all the instruments. You can click on that once. It'll only show the ones that are actually installed. So let me go back and we're going to use this one here. All right, there we go. So that's what I want. I have it selected as a favorite. I'm clicking select. And here I have my main window. So for this one, let's see what we've got. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so now notice you're not hearing anything if you're outside of that window. So you okay, so let's see what we can add here. I'm going to go ahead. Here we go. Okay, not bad. So let me turn this down just a bit. I am going to pick one more. Okay, I want to add one more thing on top of that, and then we will see how it all comes together. So go to SwarPlug stereo. Let me click on this. This time I'm going to look at bells. Okay. So we're going to preview some of this. I'm going to turn the speaker option on here so we can take a listen. Okay, I like the tambourine. So I'm going to select that and we're going to record that. Okay. So that gives me an idea of what I'm using. So here we go. Let's take a listen. Okay, not bad. So let's take a listen to everything and see what we've got. I'm going to actually turn off my cycle function here. And what I'm going to show you is, instead of triggering your MIDI, using your MIDI keyboard to get the sound out of SwarPlug, I'm actually going to drag and drop MIDI information right into the project. You would do that from here in this window. Okay, so to get there, of course, you want to have library selected. We go from key maps to library, and over here is where you would have that information. Notice it's selected there. If I click here and drag right up to where I want it in the project, there it is. If I hit play, you automatically have that pattern selected. Okay, so let's go ahead and try with another instrument real quick. Let me go to SwarPlug again, stereo. Okay, what we're going to do is, let's see if we can actually go with, we'll use here bells, right? I'm going to preview. There we go. That's a good one. I'm going to hit select. All right, so you notice when it comes up, it's on the key maps window. We want library, okay? I'm going to move my cursor back to the beginning. And this time, I'm going to drag and drop right where I want it. Okay, let's take a listen to see what it sounds like. Here we go. So this is a quick way that you can drag and drop and get those inspiration juices flowing when it comes to using this great percussion plugin. I tell you, it is a great plugin, great sounds. You could do a lot with it. That's the SwarPlug from our friends at SwarVST. Definitely check it out. You will absolutely love it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more information on SwarPlug. Thanks again.